guys, welcome back to another one. This video is going to be pretty short. I had a comment this morning, well yesterday now, but a guy was asking about using this stuff right here in 2.5 inch 16 gauge with the Z16 Wad for 1 ounce. He said he was hunting all over the place, all high and low, and couldn't find any data. Well, I have some. I actually have a little online PDF thing with like 500 different 16 gauge assemblies. Most of it's 2.5 inch. It actually might all be 2.5 inch, but anyway, yeah, Z16 Wad 1 ounce Shadot hull, Shadot primer. This is a factory out of the bag 2.5 inch hull. The dust is already in it, and today's number of the day is 25. This will be about 1350 FPS, and I think the pressure was around 8,000. It was either 7,000 or 8,000. I want to lean closer to 7,000. This is a pretty low PSI assembly. Now, I have an issue with it, and that it is using quite a bit of dust for only 1 ounce, and it's only 1350 FPS. And that's pretty quick for birdshot, a little faster than what we like, but still, it's a little bit more than I would like to use. So what I recommend instead of this is this, and use 16 for 1120 FPS is what we get anyway. That's in a 2 3/4 inch shell though. I don't know about 2.5. Or 17. 17 does about 1200 FPS out of a 2 3/4 inch shell, but really everything else is the same. The only difference is this is using a half of a maxi nitro card instead of the whole thing for an overshot card. Otherwise, this fits in 2.5 just fine. You can put it in 2 3/4 inch using this one, again 16 or 17 depending on what velocity you like, just by using the entire maxi nitro card instead of only a half. But that's the only difference. Likewise, you can put this recipe that we're doing here in 2 3/4 inch just by using the entire nitro card. And the Z16 Wad, the reason why you guys don't see me use this one or talk about it all that much is because it has a really tall crush section, which is great for lower PSIs and things like that, but it leaves the shot cup a little short. And it has these massive gaps between the petals. They are stitched, so that does help a little bit. They open slower. But it doesn't hold much lead, and the petals are not, you know, all the way around in its diameter. There's, again, large gaps. I prefer the Claybuster Blue Wad. The shot cup is much longer. It holds 1.125 ounces of 6's, or 7.5s, 8's, whatever you want to use. It's 1.125 ounces wad. This is a 1 ounce wad, but it doesn't hold quite 1 ounce. 1 ounce of 6's overstacks it by a little bit. I'm not really a fan of that. I like all of my shot, especially if it's birdshot, to be all within the shot cup if possible. Anyway, dust is already in this. Again, Shadot, already primed 2.5 inch hull. This is a straight wall wad, even though I do like to pinch out the gas seal of the wad, the bottom part of it, flare it out with needle nose pliers just to give it a better seal. I'm not doing that here because, to be honest, I'm taking this right back apart, and I'm switching wads out, and then these will just be range food. I already have a couple done back there. I have not hit them with the BN2 yet, but they look just fine. 1 ounce of 6's. Don't spill these. And I'll show you, this does overstack the wad. I think you can already see it. Shake it down, even it out, and yeah, it overstacks the wad a little bit. Not really a fan of that, but just needs an overshot card now, which again is right here. Put that right on top, and this is ready for a fold crimp. And here's the end result. As you can see, they all look just about like factory shells, maybe even a touch better. That is just the Lelodol, the GOP Rabacitor, and the GOP BN2. That's all these are. I will mention that if you want to do 2.5 inch on the Lelodol, all you need to do is trim off 1/4 inch of the final crimp tube. That's it, and have your press no more than 1/2 inch away from the edge, excuse me, of your bench. That's it. As you can see, this press over here, it's set up in 10 gauge. I also have the pre-crimp tube trimmed by 1/4 inch, but I have it set a full inch back away, and I can't do 2.5 inch shells over here, but I can over here because it's a ½ inch away. Works just fine. I think I misspoke on something earlier. If you're using this one, again, number of the day for that would be 16 or 17, depending on the velocity you want, 1100 or closer to 1200 anyway. You need about 3/4 of the thickness of that overshot card. This one is a paper thin section. I thought this was a half of one, but nah, it's just a paper thin section. Yeah, you need about 3/4 of it for that one because it takes up a lot less room than this one does, because you're using about 9 grains less dust. But with this one, that again, today's number of the day was 25, you need half of a 16 gauge 70 thou maxi nitro card. Doesn't matter what press you assemble them on, but the GOT BN2 will make them look like that. So this is very, very easy to do yourself. Nothing I used was all that special, just you know, BN2 reload all for the most part, and I did have a Rebasator in there. The intermediate crimp, or middle crimp as I like to call it, and I'll take it off and show you guys what it looks like in case you haven't seen it. But it's just a intermediate crimp. It creates the crease you see around the top edge of the hull, gets it a little bit deeper set and ready for the final crimp. And I'm not sure if I showed it, the intermediate crimp after I used this on the hulls before I hit them with the BN2, but I think I did. If not, you could see them in the background. They look just fine, ready to go. The BN2 really just tapers them, gives it that nice rolled edge for better feeding. Anyways, yeah, just a quick video. I had a comment, I don't need to repeat myself, but I had a comment, a guy was asking about 2.5 inch with the Z16 and all that stuff. So there you go, hope that helped. I would check out the Advantages manual and some other online sources for 2.5 inch data. There is actually quite a bit of it out there, although I will admit it can be quite hard to find because most 16 gauge data is for 2 3/4. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.